I feel very honored to speak on the topic Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's vision of social justice in the digital age, empowering women through technology. As we move into a rapidly evolving digital world, so it becomes important to revisit Ambedkar's ideas and understand how they guide us even today. I would like to be I would like to begin with this powerful quote by Dr. Ambedkar. I personally feel that this statement is still very relevant today. In his quote, I measure the progress of a community by the degree of progress which women have achieved. But even though we are progressing technologically, we cannot say that a society is truly developed unless women are equally empowered. So I will try to connect with this idea with the digital world that we live in today. So Ambedkar strongly believed that education is the foundation of empowerment. He promised girls education at a time when it was very much neglected. And he emphasized that women must be financially independent. Why? Dependency leads to inequality and exploitation. Financial freedom gives decision making power. Ambedkar encouraged equal participation of women in public life. He played a key role in promoting the Hindu Code Bill, ensuring women's rights in marriage, property, and even inheritance. Why this topic today? Today, we are living in a world driven by digital technologies like artificial intelligence and IoT, blockchain, big data. While technology is advancing rapidly, reports from sources like NFHS, National Family Health Survey, and global organizations like the UN Women and World Bank, they show that women still have less access to digital tools and the internet, especially in the rural areas. So the digital gender gap is a real and ongoing challenge. So this is why I believe that it is important to revisit Ambedkar's vision and understand how it applies in today's context. Dr. Ambedkar was most commonly recognized for the architect of the Indian Constitution, a leader of Dalit rights movement, social justice and equality. This dominates the public memory, the textbooks, and even speeches. What inspires me most is his dedication to equality, justice, and dignity for all. And he was also a strong advocate for women's rights, which makes him very relevant to our topic today. His contribution to women's rights are equally significant, though it is not always given the same level of attention. When I try to understand the idea of social justice given by Dr. Ambedkar, I see that it is very comprehensive and far ahead of his time. For him, social justice meant equality at social, economic, and political levels. He believed that everyone should have liberty and dignity, and each individual should have the freedom to think, express, and live with self respect. His idea of justice included gender equality, not just caste. He also emphasized law and education is as the key tools to achieve justice, and as he believed that people could uplift themselves. So I see his vision as a complete framework for building a fair and equal society even today. I find it very inspiring that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar strongly supported women's rights and he worked on important reforms, especially through the Hindu Code Bill, to give women rights in property, marriage, and inheritance. At a time when women had very little limited rights, his efforts were truly progressive and forward thinking. So he believed that education and equal opportunities are essential for women's growth. According to him, when women are empowered, it leads to the progress of the entire society, thereby entire nation. He strongly emphasized education as the foundation of empowerment. His well-known message, educate, agitate, organize. They highlight the importance of awareness, critical thinking, and collective action in bringing about social change. So in today's context, this idea remains highly relevant, particularly in the academic environment. I believe that education today must also extend to digital literacy, to as access to technology and the ability to use it effectively have become very much important for empowerment in the modern world. What is the digital age, you may ask? The digital age may be understood as a period marked by rapid advancement in technologies like the AI, the machine learning, the Internet of Things, and the big data. So these technologies have become deeply embedded in our several sectors like our education, our healthcare, business, and governance. So they play a significant role in shaping societal structures. So influencing us how we interact, how we determine access to the opportunities. But it is also very essential to critically examine whether the benefits of these technologies are being equitably distributed across all sections of the society. In this digital era, access to the internet is closely linked with access to opportunities, including education, employment, and information. But it is also important to recognize the existence of the significant digital divide across different sections of society. So this divide can be observed between rural and urban populations, between the economically advantaged and the disadvantaged groups, and also between men and women. So therefore, while technology has the potential to serve as a powerful tool for empowerment, it can also contribute to exclusion for those who lack educate access. So this highlights the need to ensure that our technological advancements are inclusive and accessible to all. So I just wanted to highlight some of the challenges which are faced by women in the digital space. First, the gender bias remains a persistent issue, influencing the hiring practices, the career progression, and the leadership opportunities, which are still lacked when you see the women folks. Secondly, there is noticeable underrepresentation of women in STEM, science, technology, engineering, management fields, particularly in the technical as well as the decision-making roles. So in addition, the concerns related to the cyber safety, including online harassment and digital security, they pose serious barriers to women's active participation in the digital space. So finally, I want to talk about the challenge of maintaining a balance between the professional responsibilities and their personal commitments, which still continues to affect women disproportionately. So addressing these issues is very much essential in achieving meaningful and sustainable empowerment. So I just want to just bring this slide to you, which is also an important topic, which is the uh, 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 which are the topics under the India AI Summit as well, which is the inclusive and regional context. Inclusion is often discussed at the national and the global level, but AI inclusion must be understood also in regional as well as local context. So language and the cultural inclusion are the key issues here. So many AI systems, they are trained primarily on the dominant languages and the mainstream data. So if regional languages and the cultural context are not represented, AI systems, what we call AI, the system risks excluding large sections of the population. So as we also talk about inclusion, also involves the human capital, like encouraging the women's participation in STEM. So these are the things which is also a very huge topic in the AI summit as well. Coming to the role of universities and the students, I believe that both universities and students, we have shared responsibility in addressing these challenges. So first, universities also need to create inclusive and gender-sensitive environment. We need to implement fair policies, reducing bias, and ensuring equal access to the resources. Even students, you have the responsibility to practice these values by respecting diversity, as you are a mixture of people from different places, and promoting equality in your daily interactions. And secondly, to increase women's participation in STEM, universities should also promote mentorship programs, scholarships, and opportunities for skill development. And even for students, you need to contribute to building a supportive and collaborative learning environment where women feel encouraged to participate and lead. And in addition, universities need to provide training on digital literacy and cyber safety etiquettes. While the students also, you need to use technology responsibly and be aware of the safe online practices. Like, don't believe whatever you see in the WhatsApp. Do not rely too much on the WhatsApp universities and YouTube universities. You need to check, is it kind, is it true, is it ethical? We need to see those peers. So further, universities need to ensure equal opportunities and support systems so that no individual is left behind. And students should actively utilize these opportunities and support their peers as well. Finally, both universities and students, we need to focus on developing ethical and inclusive technologies. And we need to work together to reduce the digital divide in the society. And today, it is important for us to reinterpret the vision of B.R. Ambedkar within the context of digital age. In this evolving landscape, the idea of social justice, they need to extend to include digital justice so that we ensure fair and inclusive access to technologies. Similarly, equality must now be understood as equal access to digital resources and opportunities. In this sense, empowerment is no longer limited to just traditional forms, but they will also include digital empowerment where individuals are able to effectively use the technology for their own growth as well as their own development. Therefore, it becomes very important for us to ensure that the technological progress benefits all sections of society without exclusion. Finally, I would like to emphasize that technology should not only drive innovation, but also ensure inclusion. I want to read the quote by him. The cultivation of mind should be the ultimate aim of human existence. By following the vision of B.R. Ambedkar, we can ensure that the progress is both equitable as well as meaningful. The cultivation of mind, developing our mind through learning, thinking, through gaining knowledge should be the most important goal in life. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Now it is time for Dr.